Is the American media cooked? Probably, maybe. It's not looking good, fam. Hey, welcome back to my YouTube where I talk about news, politics, and try not to crash out. Emphasis on try. We are living through some of the most extreme attacks on a free press in US history. The question isn't whether or not Trump will attack the US media, like, are you new here? The question is whether the media will stand up to him, and much of that is up to the billionaires that own them. So on that fun note, let's dive in. Since Trump began his second term, we've seen numerous attacks on the media. The AP was kicked out of the White House press pool after refusing to call the Gulf of Mexico Gulf of America. CBS abruptly canceled The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, which stirred up a ton of rumors as CBS's parent company was actively seeking merger approval from the Trump administration at the time. And of course, last week, Jimmy Kimmel was pulled off the air after delivering a monologue on the aftermath of the Charlie Kirk assassination.
We had some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it. In between the finger pointing, there was grieving. On Friday, the White House flew the flags at half staff, which got some criticism. But on a human level, you can see how hard the president is taking this.
My condolences on the loss of your friend Charlie Kirk. May I ask, sir, personally, how are you holding up over the last day and a half, sir?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks? They've just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House, which is something they've been trying to get, as you know, for about 150 years. And it's going to be a beauty.
Yes. He's at the fourth stage of grief, construction.
Following this, FCC Chair Brendan Carr began threatening broadcasters who air inappropriate political coverage with fines and even pulling their broadcast licenses. Super normal. And the networks folded. Sinclair Broadcast Group even put out a statement demanding that Kimmel apologize, make a personal donation to Turning Point USA, and said that they were going to air a whole Charlie Kirk montage during his time slot. Again, super duper normal. Now, in Kimmel's case, it looks like the mass public backlash worked. A call to boycott Disney by canceling Hulu and Disney Plus subscriptions went viral online. At one point, Disney's losses were estimated at $3.8 billion. And hey, money talks. Disney dropped a statement that Kimmel would be back on the air on Tuesday. But all of this goes beyond late night talk show hosts. This past week, Trump has openly threatened to sic the FCC on networks that air negative coverage of the administration.
They give me only bad publicity from the press. I mean, they're getting a license. I would think maybe their license should be taken away. It will be up to Brendan Carr.
Meanwhile, the Pentagon has said it will revoke press access from journalists who report on unapproved information, even shit that's unclassified. They're going to require journalists sign a pledge that they will only report on information the administration has authorized. How much you want to bet they're only going to authorize information that's favorable to the Trump administration? And for a lot of journalists, their careers depend on having press access. It's what gets them first dibs on breaking news and access to important officials. It's a critical resource for their work, and it's being threatened directly by the Trump administration. Now, Trump threatening the media isn't new. The dude made fake news part of the American mainstream vocabulary. But until now, we've been able to rely on the American media standing up to him. Now, there's a real question on if they'll continue to do so. More and more of our media is being consolidated into the hands of just a few billionaires, and those billionaires are leaning further and further right. Let's look back at the Paramount-Skydance merger, the source of so much speculation when Colbert was taken off the air. Paramount is owned by Larry Ellison's son, the same Larry Ellison that has been a good friend to Donald Trump and has donated millions to Republican campaigns across the country. Again and again, Trump has used his second term to throw Larry wins. The Paramount-Skydance merger was approved. And now Larry's company Oracle is poised to take a controlling stake in TikTok, which will give him access to 150 million American users. At one point last week, this news boosted Larry Ellison's stock prices so high that he surpassed Elon Musk as the wealthiest man in the world. Briefly, at least. It's not just Larry Ellison. Let's look at Sinclair Broadcast Group. Sinclair controls over 200 television networks in American media. And as you probably picked up from their reaction to Kimmel, they're openly right-wing. In fact, they've become pretty infamous for it. There's tons of reports of them forcing pro-Trump scripts on local news reporters. American media is being consolidated into the hands of just a few corporations. Estimates put control of 90% of America's media in the hands of just 5 to 6 corporations. Companies like Paramount, controlled by Larry Ellison's son, and Disney, which initially caved to the request to take Kimmel off air, or Amazon, owned by Jeff Bezos, who's consistently buddied up with Donald Trump. You get the picture. Just a handful of billionaires control our news, and they also control the power to stand up to Trump. But Trump is using his position to shift media power to his allies, and those allies, in turn, are bending over. I won't lie, the current state of American media scares me. The information we're being fed is easier and easier to manipulate. That's why supporting independent journalism is so important, and why I'm trying to script, film, and edit this video before the Lions play tonight. No one is paying for this video, but it's important, so here I am. We're in for a fight, for sure, but Disney reinstating Kimmel shows that we do have collective power. We canceled our subscriptions, tanked stock prices, and Disney responded. The media may be controlled by a few, but they make their money from us, and we have power in that. So stay tuned. I plan on putting out more content on this channel as we ramp up opposition to the Trump administration. If you want to support me, make sure you're subscribed, give this video a like, share, all the good stuff, you know the drill. And make sure to come follow me on Substack, where I put out daily news updates, break things down into historical context, and share resources on how to get involved. So yeah, stick around. It's gonna be, it's not exactly a fun time. My leg fell asleep. Why did I think it would be a good idea to film this cross-legged?